So these are just photos that I've had on my computer, and I was revisiting some documents, and I'd come across some of these photos, and I figured I'd put them into like a little area so I can show you guys. Not a playlist, but just a little folder that I could show some of the photos to you guys. And I'm sure that I have more than some of the photos I'm about to show you, but these are just ones that I found recently on my computer, and if I have more time I'll go back and try and find more. But and I don't, these aren't photos that I've, you know, people sent me or anything like that. These are just ones that I've had, and I'm not, like, leaking these or anything like that. These are um I'm sure if you looked hard enough, it's probably public information, but I'm sure most of this stuff you guys have probably never seen before, or at least stock images of it. So, first one, this is the girl in the well. There were a couple different models of this made, but this was 2007, as you can see down there. The only two models that were known to be made was this one, and there's two of these ones made, and then there was one that had sound, which I don't know. We don't know what kind of sound it has. I've asked a few people that might know, and we're just not sure. But this one, the other one that was made that has sound also had three skulls at the bottom, and you can see that they were cut off right here and sewn on because that's where the sound box was originally, and then there were three at the bottom right there. And I have a photo of the soundbox one somewhere, and if I find it, I'll include it at the end of the video. But moving on to the next picture. Oh, and the girl, obviously, she rises in and out. This one is a lesser coveted photo. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this one, but it's cool to have the stock image of it. And I think the other one that's publicly available has the Yard Inflatables logo on it. So it's nice to see it without that covering up the picture. This one is definitely a lesser known one. This was an early stage prototype of the Canadian produced skull that comes, or the Reaper that comes out, and we still aren't sure how this works. I don't know how he goes back in, but as you can see, they did decide to give this one a sound box, and again, what it played is unknown. One can only imagine what it played, but it's very different than the produced model. And I have papers that show these photos in black and white that were taken off of the Holiday Inflatable store or the Collectors Club, one of those two. So it's nice to see them in color finally. This one, there were about two models made of. There was one that was like this, and then there was one that was made with a base on the bottom. Now I'm sure they made a couple different ones of this one, not different, but they probably just made different models of it, because this one was, I think this was on two different stores as a pre-order. But the ghost pops in and out, and I think it's about 6 feet tall. But these are all 2007, so they're most of them are going to be animated. This one's probably my favorite, and this one was definitely I got the most enjoyment out of seeing this one in color, because I've always seen this one in black and white. I think people started seeing this one as the drawing, or the original drawing that was made of this one, but a lot of people don't know that this one was actually prototyped. So here it is, actually inflated, as you can see. They kept the clear fabric and everything like that in the drawings, and the guy in the back, he's supposed to pop in and out, and I'm pretty sure the skulls in the back blink, but I'm not totally sure. But it's definitely it really shows true Gemmy back then, and this is totally something they would have made. I don't know why it wasn't released, because I would definitely have it if it was, but it's definitely a cool piece to see, and you can see that they did give it tethers and everything like that. So I'm sure it was decently close to being produced, but it's a shame that it wasn't. And then this one, I'm sure it was produced, but I don't know if it has clip art of it. But the next ones I'm showing you, these are just going to be factory photos. And it's already zoomed in. Okay, so this is the nativity globe. It was produced, but this is the factory photo of it. You can see some workers in the back right there, kind of funny. I can only assume that this was taken in Hong Kong, where their factory is. I'm pretty sure that's where their factory is. And you can see it's pretty pixelated, but this is the best that we have, and there might be a clear photo out there of it, but this is the only one I have. Another factory photo. This is the Merry Christmas Santa's Workshop, and it rotates around, and it doesn't seem like there's any differences between this and the produced one, and you can see there's a globe in the back there. You can only imagine what that is. But, you know, it's a little blurry, but it's still cool to see it as a factory photo. Obviously, this one, there's differences between this and the produced one. Charlie Brown and Linus's face, they're both pretty different than the produced one, and I think the sled is a little bit skinnier. But Snoopy and Woodstock, they seem to have stayed the same. And I don't know why they changed the faces. I don't know if I prefer the faces on this one or the produced one, but I think it's pretty cool. And I always like the blue backgrounds, and you'll be seeing a lot more of those as the photos go along. This is the Mickey Mini pop-up. I don't think there's any differences. I don't remember if Mickey had eyebrows, or if he did. Then this one doesn't have them, but you know, I'm not a huge fan of this one, but it's still cool to see it fully working, because a lot of the ones nowadays, they don't. Another one with the blue background. This is the No Booze Allowed globe, and you can just see how clear the globe is. It's very nice to see it not fogged up or anything like that. This one, I believe, is a factory photo. I saw it and I was like, I don't know if this might be, but it kind of looks like it was taken outside. But it's definitely not a listing picture or anything like that. So I'm not really sure where it came from, but I'm fairly positive that this is a factory photo, but I could be wrong. This one is the Reaper archway, and you can see it's a little bit taller than 9 feet tall. The original one that was made was 9 feet, and you can see this one almost reaches the 10-foot mark. So definitely a little bit bigger than the released one, but other than that, it seems to still be the same. The gargoyle archway is another one that was 9 feet tall, and it seems to have kind of stuck to that era. It doesn't look like it's much taller than 9 feet. And again, I don't see any differences between that and the produced one, but it's still pretty cool to see. The spider archway, this is probably just the camera tricking us. I'm pretty sure it's still 9 feet tall, even though it looks like it's 10 feet. I think it's just because the camera is panned up. And I like this one. I think this was produced a couple different years. But this, I don't know what year this photo was from. On my computer, I have it saved as 2007, but I'm pretty sure it's a little bit older than that. Spider archway, this was called the crawling spider archway, which I guess makes sense. And I like this one. I like the inflatables that have the kind of curtains that come down. I think that's pretty neat how they did that. And that's the last of the photos. But if I come across more, I'll upload more soon. And I don't mind if you guys share these photos around or anything like that. I just, you know, these are photos that I've had on my computer, and I've sent them to a couple of people, but I thought, you know, I'd make a video on it, just kind of showing these ones. And again, I mean, it's not something I'm keeping a secret or anything like that. These are, you know, photos that I've found on my own, or somebody sent them. Somebody that worked with the Holiday Inflatable store or whatever sent them to me. Regardless, it's not something that wasn't supposed to be, you know, out, so it's not a big deal to me. But like I said, if I come across any more photos, I'll upload them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I have a big book. I call it the Book of Gemmys. If I can get that real quick. I don't know where I put it. Oh, yeah, it's right here. I might do a live stream sometime in the next month, and I want to show this off. This is my Book of Gemmys, and the reason I'm not showing it right now is just because there is some private information on here, like passwords and stuff, so I need to definitely filter what's in here. But it's a lot of cool documented photos, and if I show this, I can show, you know, starting point. This is just a Yard Inflatables catalog, and then this, you can see this. This is a cool piece of the book. This was a card that you'd get in some of the snow globe boxes, and you know, you could write general information on there and ask you a few questions like, what's your favorite globe, what would you like to see in the future, blah blah blah, what's your favorite license. So it's pretty cool piece of history right there. And that I don't think it says the year on it. No, it doesn't. Yeah, no. But I would imagine it's 2006. So it's cool to see, you know, that they cared back then and they cared about your opinion. But yeah, if I find more photos, I'll upload them. But yeah, thanks.